I joined the AFP in 1983 and I was on 6 of 83, which was the course. Being a Canberra girl, it was a good idea to actually join ACT policing component of the AFP. And I guess going into college, I was in one of the earlier groups where there were quite a number of women on recruit courses, which was about a third of my course at the time. After we did the first day, and they said, go away and choose a class president. And we came back the next day and they said, what bloke did you choose as class president? And I said, me. And they said, but we don't have girls as class president. So I said, well, you do now. And that might have been the start of, some of the history of challenging the status quo. And then when I went to Belconnen Station, they only had one female per squad, which meant that sometimes if someone was on leave, it was a bit of a drama about being able to find a female to work on a squad so that when you had to search people and things like that, you had somebody suitable to do that. So when I finished my recruit training, I really ended up initially being posted into family relations area and community policing, which I said, well, really I should be on the road because I'm a new police officer. So after that initial discussion, they decided they wouldn't leave me there. So I went to Belconnen Police Station and worked at Belconnen Police Station pretty much for the best part of 12 months initially. My career was interesting in that I was in the AFP and left as a superintendent and then came back again 6 years later, just after September 11 happened, and I got asked whether or not I'd be interested in coming back. And what it was for me was an opportunity to, continue doing something that I love doing and providing security to the nation and my family and friends. But what it gave me being outside of the organisation, I guess, is a lot of experience in other organisations, working private sector and public sector, that allowed me to think of things a little bit differently, but also be myself in more senior roles. The bushfires, in terms of having the responsibility for dealing with the event across Canberra at the time, other than the actual fire brigade component and emergency management component, was very prominent, and also the resurrection over the next couple of weeks of having electricity put back onto places, building roads where bridges had been burnt down, and having accessibility back into the regional areas where the bushfires were most concerning, the destruction of animals and things like that. It was an opportunity for me, and a most enjoyable opportunity in being able to manage multiple things at one time, to coordinate that, but also very demanding about dealing with political issues, the media, ensuring the staff's welfare was right and looked after, and the reporting components associated with it, and of course the subsequent inquest after that time. I look back and I was 8 weeks into the AFP, 19 years old, and it was the first time the ACT policing had a triple murder-suicide, and I dealt with that job. We got a call to a fire. There were 3 young children in the house, and what had occurred is the father had already shot the children and lit the house up. Not that we knew that, and we tried to resuscitate the children, broke into the house, found the last child still alive, and trying to keep that child alive with one of the ambulance officers. That was quite defining in my sort of internal fortitude for dealing with policing. It's one of those reminders that policing can be a struggle, it can be confronting, but it's also a very important role in the community, and it's defining about your own ability to do the job and also your credibility in the organisation.